Operation Market Garden, launched in September 1944, was one of the largest Allied airborne operations during World War II. A bold and ambitious plan, it aimed to expedite the end of the war by capturing key bridges in the Netherlands and paving the way for a swift advance into Germany. However, despite its scale and intent, the operation ultimately ended in failure, revealing significant flaws in planning and execution. This account delves into the strategic background, the operation's planning and execution, and the reasons for its failure, concluding with its impact on the course of the war. Strategic background. By mid-1944, the Allies had achieved significant successes in Western Europe. The Normandy invasion, D-Day, in June 1944 had established a foothold in France, leading to a rapid breakout and liberation of much of the country. By September, Allied forces had pushed the Germans across the Seine River and were advancing toward Germany's borders. However, logistical challenges emerged as supply lines stretched to their limits. The port of Antwerp, critical for resupply, was still under German control. Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery proposed an audacious plan, Operation Market Garden, to bypass the Siegfried Line and strike at the heart of Germany through the Netherlands. This would allow the Allies to outflank German defenses, seize the Ruhr industrial region, and potentially bring the war to a quicker conclusion. Planning Operation Market Garden. The operation comprised two main components. Operation Market, airborne assault. This involved dropping over 35,000 paratroopers from the U.S. 101st Airborne Division, the U.S. 82nd Airborne Division, and the British 1st Airborne Division, along with the Polish 1st Independent Parachute Brigade. Their objective was to capture a series of key bridges over rivers and canals in the Netherlands, stretching from Eindhoven to Arnhem. Operation Garden, ground offensive. This component involved the British XXX Corps, a powerful armored force, advancing north from Belgium to link up with the airborne troops. The objective was to secure a corridor approximately 100 kilometers long, culminating in the capture of the bridge at Arnhem over the Rhine River. The operation was planned with tight timelines, requiring precise coordination between the airborne and ground forces. The element of surprise was considered crucial, as the Germans were believed to be disorganized and unable to mount a strong defense. Execution of Operation Market Garden. Day 1, September 17, 1944. The operation began with a massive airborne drop. The 101st Airborne landed near Eindhoven, tasked with securing bridges over the Wilhelmina Canal and the Dommel River. Meanwhile, the 82nd Airborne targeted bridges over the Maas River and the Waal River at Nijmegen. The British 1st Airborne, supported by the Polish Brigade, aimed to seize the bridge at Arnhem. The initial landings were largely successful, with most paratroopers reaching their designated zones. However, delays in securing bridges immediately began to emerge. The Sun Bridge near Eindhoven was destroyed by the Germans, forcing the 101st to build a temporary replacement. The British 1st Airborne faced unexpectedly strong resistance at Arnhem, where two German SS Panzer divisions were regrouping. Days 2 to 3, XXX Corps began its advance from Belgium but encountered stiff German resistance along the narrow, elevated roads leading to Eindhoven. The delays compounded the pressure on airborne troops holding their positions. At Nijmegen, the 82nd Airborne captured the southern approaches to the key Waal River Bridge but struggled to secure the bridge itself. A daring assault by American paratroopers and British tanks finally captured the bridge on September 20, but by then, critical time had been lost. At Arnhem, the situation deteriorated rapidly. British paratroopers managed to reach the northern end of the Arnhem Bridge but were soon isolated. Reinforcements, including the Polish Brigade, could not reach them due to heavy German defenses and poor weather. Final stages, 21 to 25 September. The British 1st Airborne at Arnhem was effectively encircled by German forces. Despite fierce resistance, the majority of the division was either killed or captured. Only a small number of troops managed to retreat across the Rhine in a desperate evacuation. The failure to secure Arnhem meant that XXX Corps could not establish the planned corridor into Germany. The operation was officially terminated on September 25. Reasons for failure. Several factors contributed to the failure of Operation Market Garden. Underestimation of German strength. Allied intelligence failed to account for the presence of two elite SS Panzer divisions near Arnhem. This miscalculation left the British 1st Airborne dangerously outnumbered and ill-equipped to deal with the German counterattacks. Overly ambitious plan. The operation's success hinged on capturing and holding multiple bridges along a narrow corridor over 100 kilometers long. Any delay or failure at one point could jeopardize the entire operation, which is exactly what occurred at Arnhem. Logistical and tactical challenges. The narrow roads leading to Arnhem made the advance of XXX Corps vulnerable to ambushes and delays. German forces skillfully exploited this weakness, using terrain and coordinated defenses to slow the British advance. Weather and communication problems. Adverse weather hampered resupply drops and reinforcements for the airborne divisions. Additionally, communication issues between airborne troops and ground forces led to confusion and disjointed efforts. Destruction of key bridges. The destruction of the Sun Bridge forced a critical delay, while the inability to secure the Arnhem Bridge sealed the operation's fate. Without control of these key crossings, the Allies could not maintain their advance. Consequences of Operation Market Garden. Despite its failure, Operation Market Garden demonstrated the courage and tenacity of Allied troops. However, its impact on the war was mixed. Human and material losses. The Allies suffered approximately 17,000 casualties, including killed, wounded, and captured soldiers. The British 1st Airborne Division, in particular, was devastated, with over 75% of its troops lost. German casualties were also significant but did not impede their ability to defend the Netherlands. Delay in the Allied advance. The failure at Arnhem prolonged the war in Western Europe. The Siegfried Line remained intact, and the Ruhr industrial region continued to supply the German war effort. The Allies shifted their focus to clearing the Scheldt estuary and opening the port of Antwerp, delaying further offensives into Germany until early 1945. Dutch suffering. The failure of Market Garden left much of the Netherlands under German occupation for several more months. The Hunger Winter of 1944 to 1945 saw widespread starvation and suffering among the Dutch population as German forces retaliated against suspected resistance activities. Impact on Allied strategy. The operation exposed the limitations of airborne warfare and the risks of over-reliance on ambitious plans. Allied commanders became more cautious, emphasizing coordination and logistical support in subsequent operations, such as the Battle of the Bulge and the crossing of the Rhine in 1945. Legacy. Operation Market Garden remains one of the most debated campaigns of World War II. While it highlighted the daring and innovation of Allied strategy, it also underscored the dangers of overextension and flawed intelligence. The operation has been immortalized in books, films, and documentaries, such as A Bridge Too Far, which dramatized the events and the heroism of those involved. Despite its failure, Market Garden demonstrated the determination of the Allied forces to press on against formidable odds. It also emphasized the importance of learning from setbacks, a lesson that proved crucial in the eventual Allied victory in 1945.